What are the chances of a police reunion? I mean, their last reunion a few years ago went really well. Everyone thought they were going to record together, but that's an arduous task for these guys. At this point, they've grown older and they still love each other, but it doesn't mean they want to be in the studio together. Let's not ruin what we've built in the last few years. But really, the fans want a reunion, and they don't have a lot of music that was released. Outlandish L'Amour, Regatta de Blanc, Zenyatta Mondata, Ghost of the Machine, and Synchronicity. That was it for the Police. A live album, some greatest hits. Will they ever get together? Also, after this, stay tuned after this short clip on what he tells us about the chances of the Police reunion. He also talks about the history of music and what fundamental thing changed music forever. It's an interesting history lesson. As a drummer, I was familiar with it, but I'll let him tell you right after the Police clip. Stay tuned on Rock History Music.
Is it still 1% for that reunion?
Diminishing.
No.
I never said 1%. I never, see, all you listeners out there, this is how people get misquoted. I never said 1%. What I said was 0.000000001%.
Oh, that hurts.
See how this happens?
People forget where rock and roll came from sometimes. I think that, the origins of rock and roll.
Well, it didn't come from Africa, by the way. It didn't come from Africa. It came from America. It was the synthesis of European instruments, Yoruba culture, and others down in New Orleans. It evolved into the American sound. Okay, you're going to have to put up with a rant here, which is that the most distinctive feature, American culture dominates the world. But the most distinctive feature of American culture is its music. We have movies and we have, so does everybody else, writers and so on. We got Mark Twain, England's got Shakespeare, Russia's got Tolstoy. But it's our music that is absolutely distinct and that they're all playing our music. And the distinctive feature of our music is the backbeat. And the backbeat, which defines all popular music from ragtime from the 40s and the 50s, all the way through to this current day in which we live, the backbeat. And the backbeat derives from an invention by one D.D. Chandler in 1898 in New Orleans. And he invented the bass drum pedal, which in my view, my humble view, is the most important invention of the 20th and 21st centuries, because it meant, first of all, the band leader could fire two guys. The bass drum guy and the cymbal guy. He kept the snare drum guy because now the snare drum guy can do all three. He can use his foot to play the bass drum and the hi-hat, and he's got, one guy instead of three guys. That's an upgrade for the band leader. But for music in general, when one guy, instead of three guys grooving together and creating that polyrhythm of the bass drum and the answering backbeat, ba, da, boom, ba, doom, ba, that dialogue between the bass and the snare with the hi-hat providing, or the cymbal providing the 16th notes, the frizz on the top, now played by one guy, is much more centralized and organic in that beat of kick, snare, from jazz through funk, through pop, through everything. Kick, snare, the backbeat is this distinctive feature invented by Black culture. And in fact, my instrument was invented by a Black man, D.D. Chandler. The music I play on it derives from Black culture, which, even the Beatles are playing Black culture. Nashville, country and western, that beat derives from our Black brothers and sisters. And give me a soapbox and I'm going to stand up there and shout it from the mountaintops. The cultural debt that we owe to our Black brothers and sisters who created this most distinctive feature of our national identity.
From Stewart Copeland in the next few days, his brand new book is called Stewart Copeland's Police Diaries. As I've mentioned before, it's kind of cool. There's actually diary pieces in the book. Oh, there's his journal again. You can pick it up via the links in the description. Make sure you comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. There are links at the very top of the channel where you can make a donation. If you feel like you want to support the channel, you can join our Patreon, get early access to all our videos. Right now on Patreon, the entire interview is on there. So if you're a member, you always get early access to all the interviews, and there's so much coming up. that we're going to present to you. Remember, like our videos, share them on social media, and of course, subscribe. I'm John Bowden. This is Rock History Music. Take care of yourself.